Why didn't Devin Weston kill Michael when he had the chance? How did Steve meet Devin? And how much control did Devin have within the FIB? We're going to answer all of these questions in this video. Devin Weston is an American billionaire, venture capitalist and investor who owns shares in several major companies, from hotel chains like Banner Hotel to alcohol manufacturers like Patriot Beer and Nogo Vodka. But most importantly, he is a major shareholder of Merryweather Security, a private military company owned by Donald Percival. His ownership in Merryweather allows him to access to military resources and security details that are hidden from the public. But Devin Weston's power extends further than just Merryweather. He is a close friend and associate of Steve Haynes, a high-ranking corrupt FIB agent.
He reminds me of one of those guys you see advertising pills for middle-aged men that can't get erections.
Hey, Devin Weston is a very good friend of mine, so why don't you watch your tongue?
Through their relationship, Devin gains inside information and protection from the authorities, safely being escorted around the city by the police. His close friendship with Steve leads to Devin having an advantage in the stock market, getting a lead over his competitors, as Steve provides him with inside information. With the help of his lawyer and assistant Molly Schultz, he covers up his inside trading. She gets rid of all the footprints and evidence that can or may be used against him in court. Molly Schultz graduated from the Vespucci University with a degree in law and MSc in corporate trading from the University of Los Santos. After training at Feist and Welch, a law firm located in Del Perro Heights, she spent 5 years working for the in-house litigation team of Globe Oil before moving to Redwood Cigarettes, where she successfully overturned 26 class action lawsuits linking tobacco to lung cancer. I know, what a hero, right? She was then headhunted by Devin Weston in Rwanda in 2009. While a senior in high school, Molly successfully sued 3 members of the teaching staff because they didn't name her the homecoming queen. Molly is Devin Weston's lawyer, as well as the senior vice president and general counsel to his business. As Weston's trusted lieutenant, Molly often handles the contacts between Weston and his clients.
Mr. Clinton.
Hey, Molly, right? I got that car for y'all.
The Z-Type? Mr. Weston will be glad you caught us. He wanted to see it before we took off.
Michael and Trevor first meet Weston after he has had a meeting with Steve Haynes. During the mission by the book, Trevor is being permission to torture Mr. K.
Now if you open real wide, I might be able to just reach right back there and grab one of those big ones. I just have them lasered!
However, they are not properly introduced until after they are tasked by the FIB to rob an armored car filled with funds that the agency earned from drug sales. Steve Haynes wants the trio to requisition those funds for the bureau.
Those bastards love to sell drugs.
Who doesn't?
After surviving the assault, Franklin escapes using the getaway car to eliminate the evidence.
Everything cool? Yeah, man. Shit, that trash truck is trash, dog. You good?
Nice work. I'm about to meet this guy. I'll tell you how it goes.
He checks in with Michael, who delivers the bonds to a drop-off point. There Michael meets Devin Weston. Weston offers a new job, stealing 5 luxury cars. Michael initially refuses, but changes his mind when Weston promises to connect him with the film producer Solomon Richards, appealing to Michael's dream of becoming a producer.
Name your poison, man. I just like sitting around watching old movies.
Oh, there we go. How about I hook you up with Solomon Richards?
He offers the trio special business opportunities. He offers Michael the possibility of making a movie with his idol Solomon Richards in order to raise the value of Richards' studio. He offers Trevor and Franklin a contract to steal 5 luxury cars for him so he can sell them to high-ranking Chinese government officials. Weston hires Franklin, Michael and Trevor to steal 2 high-end sports cars. Franklin finds the cars and challenges the drivers to a street race. The race heads north on the freeway, where Michael and Trevor, dressed as cops on motorbikes, intercept the racers and confiscate the cars.
Speak.
Ah, the lady from before. Devin's assistant. Good to be working with you.
It's Molly Schultz, Senior Vice President and General Counsel to Mr. Weston's holding company. And if you think it's good to be working with common thieves, well, you're very mistaken. Have you got the cars?
Wow, the whole resume. Yeah, we got the cars.
Bring them to Hayes Auto on Little Bighorn in South Los Santos. Mr. Weston and I will meet you there.
Trevor and Franklin initially acquire the 5 cars with the assistance of Lamar Davis and transport them to Weston's drop-off point, but Weston backs out on their payment, promising to invest it for them in his own company. And as you can probably figure out, Franklin and Trevor got scammed, as they never received the money.
Where's the money?
Mr. Weston is one of the most brilliant investors the world has ever known. He's obviously a maverick, but he's also rigorous in his research.
Yeah, he may be brilliant. Look, let me be the first to tell you. He ain't gonna fall in love with your ass.
Right after, Devin attempts to shut down the production of Michael and Solomon's movie so that he can claim an insurance payout since the studio has achieved its peak value. Since the insurance policy requires the inability to complete the film, he has his lawyer Molly Schultz to take the copy of the film with her and keep it stashed until Weston wants to destroy it.
What are you talking about?
Look, the movie's nearly done, so if the plug's pulled now, the investors, meaning us, get a massive insurance payout.
However, Michael discovers this and goes to the airport to recover the prints from Molly. But when she sees him coming, she becomes terrified and attempts to flee, only to accidentally end up getting killed when she is sucked into a plane's turbines. Enraged by Molly's death, Weston sends a platoon of Merryweather soldiers to Michael's home in an attempt to murder his wife and daughter. And when Michael finds out about this, he comes to their rescue. The trio comes to the conclusion that they can't stay in Los Santos as long as Devin is alive, because of the amount of power he has. So they reunite together to end this madness for good.
We know your opinions on the matter, Devin. Keep your problems the fuck out of America, huh?
In this instance, when he puts it like that, it makes sense.
Of course it does. Hey, Devin. Goodbye, my old friend. Thanks for all the advice.
Bye-bye.
How did Steve meet Devin? While it doesn't explicitly say how they meet each other, Steve and Weston likely met through mutual circles of corruption, like during a political fundraiser gala. Devin, being a billionaire with deep investments in tech, defense and real estate, would attend such event to protect his business interests. Steve, who is a high-ranking and highly corrupt FIB agent, would be there either for PR, networking or intel control. At some point, Devin probably realized Haynes could get things done off the books, from blackmail and cover-ups to using government force for private gain. Haynes in turn saw Devin as a valuable ally with cash and connections, so while Devin Weston provided money and had political influence, Steve helped him with federal protection, which gave him the power to do whatever he wanted. Why didn't Devin kill Michael when he had the chance? So I think Devin's original plan wasn't to kill Michael. Michael, Trevor and Franklin were perfect pawns for his empire, and he had no reason to kill them at all. Weston knew how useful Michael and his crew would be to him, which is why he didn't hesitate to hire them. If Devin had an interest to kill Michael at all, he would do it at the moment they met for insulting him.
No, I don't want just some dude. I want you. I want your crew. I want pros on this.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what you want, pencil neck. I'll let them know you're interested.
I guess I just got you figured wrong, man.
But Weston knew that Michael and his crew was the best in the game, and that's also why he was so generous in giving him a deal with Solomon Richards. And because of the connections he had within the FIB, he already had the track records of the location of his family, as seen later in the story. So if anything didn't go as planned, he could blackmail Michael, holding his family hostage.
Such a pleasure working with you. You see, I was here, unlike your wife. Seems to be stuck at home.
You twisted. You're a dead man!
How much control did Devin have within the FIB? So we know that Steve and Devin were very close friends, and Steve had a decent amount of control within the FIB. While we doesn't see Devin working so much with the Bureau, he for sure had influence in the government, as he was sometimes seen being escorted by the Los Santos Police Department. But Devin most likely didn't have a lot of control over the FIB, as they are not as easy to pay off as normal cops. Steve Haynes provided Devin the intel that the FIB had, but not more than that, as Steve Haynes himself didn't have so much control either when you really think about it. He sent Michael and his crew to burn down the FIB building because they were onto him.
We're all gonna fry because the agency's onto us. I've even got some fools in our own bureau that are questioning my methods. Think I'm
A liar!
Also, Agent Sanchez and Dave Norton are the only FIB agents we see working for Steve, which suggests that there were very few who knew about their corruption. So while it seems like Devin and Steve had a lot of control within the bureau, they had a lot of intel, yes, but they didn't have the resources to use the FIB for violence. What if Dave Norton decided to shoot Michael instead of taking his side? How did Steve gain so much control within the FIB? And what happened to Steve after the third wave? We are going to answer all of these questions in this video. While little is known about Dave's background, at some point he began working for the FIB. According to Lester, Dave was married to a woman, but that marriage didn't go so well as it later ended up in divorce.
Agent Dave Norton, white middle-aged divorcee, unremarkable career except for one incident, the shooting of a notorious stick-up man, Michael Town.
Yeah, all right. Lester, I'm very impressed.
Dave's career with the FIB had been unremarkable until 2004, where he got in contact with one of America's most famous bank robbers, Michael Townley. Dave made a deal with Michael to surrender his crew to the FIB, where the original plan was to shoot Trevor and arrest Brad. But Dave accidentally shot Brad instead, leading to Brad's death in 2004.
Someone must have fucking talk!
Alright, Brad's gonna be fine. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
Trevor escaped alive, swearing that he would avenge his crew. But what he didn't know was that his closest friend was the one who betrayed him. With the help of some corrupt FIB agents, Dave faked Michael's death and buried Brad in his grave instead, taking credit for taking down the most wanted man in America.
I was in all the papers. I was on the evening news. The man who killed Michael Town.
Yeah, I was quite a trophy.
Dave knew that as long as Trevor was alive, it was a risk for the entire operation, so he sent letters to Trevor pretending to be Brad, saying that he's still alive and stuck in a prison.
We'll send another letter. It's about time anyway.
Oh, so that's you who's been sending those fucking letters to Trevor, huh?
Yeah. He thinks they're from Brad, who he thinks is locked up in high security and not 6 feet under in a grave marked Michael Townley.
Michael Townley changed identity and moved to Los Santos, where he retired and spent most of the time with his family and drinking.
You're just a drunk, lame dad.
That might just be the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
What?
After the deal, Dave and Michael didn't really have a close connection. We know that they still kept contact, as Lester reveals that Michael has been sending millions of dollars to Dave Norton every month.
Witnesses don't transfer five-figure sums into a particular FIB agent's bank account every month. Of course, the money gets moved around and washed through a number of fronts, but the trail is there. Deposits and withdrawals, the same sum every month. Agent Dave Norton.
These transfers were Dave's payment for helping Michael get rid of the authorities and being able to leave his life of crime behind. Dave arrives at Michael's mansion after Michael and Franklin robbed a jewelry store, warning them that this type of attention could attract Trevor.
What is wrong with you?
Davey! Long time no see.
And what about Trevor? If that fruitcake realizes, finds out you're alive, you are D-O-N-E fucked!
Hey, don't worry about Trevor. Trevor's dead. It's gotta be.
And Dave was right. Trevor was informed about the jewelry store robbery, leading to him paying a visit in Los Santos.
I grieved for you!
Weren't even fucking dead.
So if Trevor finding out that Michael was alive wasn't bad enough, as a result of the Vangelico store robbery, Dave's boss, Steve Haynes, starts looking into his old case files and he finds out about the deal he made with Michael. Steve sees this as an opportunity and uses his position of power to control Dave and uses Michael and the others as puppets.
I did what Agent Norton said.
Then I guess you getting involved with a clapped-out old agent who's been living off of past glories was your first mistake. You are my boy now, amigo.
Michael, Franklin and Trevor work for the FIB in their battle against the IAA to secure more government funding. Dave, who knew that following Steve was the only way to avoid jail, accepts his lead and goes off alone to explain the situation to Michael, convincing him that them helping Steve is the only way to keep both of them out of jail.
The more I see of your boss, the more I like him.
If I was you, I wouldn't be so critical of who others associate with.
So is he gonna be a problem?
For sure. But there's nothing we can do about it. If something happened to him right now, I'd be right under a microscope.
Dave and Michael infiltrate an IAA-controlled morgue to find out if Mr. K is dead or not. Michael finds out that Mr. K is still alive and he is currently being tortured by IAA agents at their headquarters.
Next, I'll have this thing so far up your ass, your tonsils will be playing shadow puppets. You think we can't do that? We can. It's in our guidelines.
Dave, along with Haynes and a fellow corrupt agent, Andreas Sanchez, force Michael, Franklin and Trevor to perform a mid-air extraction to rescue him from the IAA. However, despite rescuing him, Haynes immediately starts torturing Mr. K, forcing Trevor to do the torturing, while Michael and Dave head out to assassinate Tahir Yavan, a suspected Azerbaijani terrorist. They discover that the terrorist is throwing a lavish party, forcing Dave to make several calls to Steve in order to get a better description of the target.
Any of these bearded guys at the party smoke cigarettes? Mr. K says he smokes like a pack of 2 a day.
Redwood cigarettes?
Thank you, Mr. K.
Dave Norton is then forced to accompany Haynes while he briefs the trio about their next assignment, starting with the robbery of a Group 6 car containing funds the IAA collected from a drug trade. A few days later, Steve discovers that Michael and Trevor are hiding from Martin Madrazo at Trevor's trailer in Sandy Shores, so they arrive at the meth lab to inform them of their next assignment, infiltrating the humane labs. Haynes claims they're developing a nerve toxin that they intend to use in a staged terrorist attack in order to increase their funding.
Government funding thing. We need you to investigate a research lab upstate.
It's about terrorism, the big one, nerve gas, biological terror.
Thank God I don't pay tax.
I'll give Lester a fucking call.
Leaving them to get in contact with Franklin and Lester Crest so they can steal the necessary equipment and execute the robbery of the Blaine County Savings Bank. The Blaine County Bank is used as a front by the corrupt police from the Los Santos County Sheriff's Department to store the money they extorted from the local weed farms. As their work against the IAA continues, Steve becomes increasingly more paranoid at the prospect of failing to cover his tracks. Steve and Dave force Michael and Franklin into breaking into the FIB headquarters with the help of Lester to delete the files about Steve. In return, Steve promises to clear Michael's record.
Michael, you'd be doing me a very big favor. And if you do this, I will make sure that all your files are deleted.
After the raid, Michael calls Dave to delete his track record, but he refuses because of Michael's involvement with Trevor's hit on Merriweather.
Saved you again, Davey. Again. So what are you gonna do for me about Haynes, the rest of the FIB, the IAA, and everyone else, huh?
History's written by the living, okay? We can pin most of it on Agent Sanchez. I get that story right and the agency and bureau will back off. The problem we need to deal with is Trevor.
Trevor? Why?
Try Merriweather, Chinese gangsters, general insanity, and so on. I can spin Steve that you're controllable, but not Trevor.
Just get me out.
Michael meets up with Haynes and Sanchez at the court center to discuss where they stand. Haynes is paranoid that the FIB might know that he backed the raid against them and betrays Michael.
They know or think they know that I'm the one that was behind the incident.
Uh-huh. And now you want me to clean up your mess again, right? Before I end up at the bottom of the ocean.
Taking us to what you all have been waiting for. Why didn't Dave betray Michael? Both Sanchez and Haynes pointed their guns towards Michael, so Dave could easily just have taken their side and shot Michael. Dave's main motive behind taking Michael's side was because he knew how impulsive Steve could be. Steve always had the control over Dave, and he knew that as soon as Steve got in trouble, he would expose Dave without even hesitating. Agent Sanchez and Steve were much closer than him and Steve, so if someone had to take the punishment for the FIB's corruption, it would be Dave. Dave took Michael's side because he knew that Steve would soon get caught, so the only possible way out of it was to help Michael.
Now, Steve, we agreed to speak to Michael, to try and explain things to him. Not this. This causes problems for us all.
Dave meets up with Haynes after the wrap-up, and Steve wants all three protagonists killed, but Dave manages to talk them out of it. but he insists that Trevor must die. Why did Steve want Trevor dead? So the most obvious reason was that Trevor had made enemies with everyone. The military, hipsters, Merryweather, and even Chinese gangsters. But this is only partially true. Steve feared Trevor because Trevor didn't follow rules from anyone. Trevor was the only character who was more impulsive than Steve himself. This is seen when he forced Trevor to torture Mr. K. The torture was too much even for Trevor, making him feel sympathy and forcing him to control his emotions.
Run! You're free!
All three of the protagonists had dirt on Steve, but Trevor was the only one who would have the balls to expose him. Michael had too much to lose to expose Steve, and Franklin would put himself in too much danger. Why did Agent Sanchez betray Steve? Agent Sanchez betraying Steve was really unexpected, or was it? Sanchez was Steve's biggest puppet, but compared to Dave, Steve actually had a friendship with Sanchez and saw him as a good colleague. Sanchez was always very insecure and searched for more power, so when he worked for Steve, he felt like he got the power he deserved.
But you made a mistake.
Did I, Cupcake?
Why don't you keep your fucking voice down before I close your fucking windpipe? The joke stopped now, pal. You will show me and my team some respect.
But even Sanchez saw Steve's flaws, and just like Dave, he knew that he would be sacrificed if needed. During the wrap-up, he saw the opportunity to take down Steve and finally get the attention and power he always wanted. How did Steve have so much power within the Bureau? Steve joined the FIB in 1975, giving him almost 40 years of experience. He became a high-ranked FIB special agent to the point that he was given leadership of his own unit and became the boss of several high-ranked agents, including Andrea Sanchez and Dave Norton in 2008. Steve was also chosen to become the host of a new criminal reality TV show. As a host of the show, he made reports on gang activity and became extremely likable by the media.
I'm decorated FIB agent Stephen Haynes. The FIB, the police department, and the sheriff's office are fighting a war out here every day in a city where dreams too often become wet.
But most importantly, he knew a lot of rich people. Steve in particular was known to be on the payroll of several wealthy and powerful people, including the billionaire Devin Weston, whom Haynes considered as a close friend. After the end of the third wave, Dave and Michael are on good terms. David calls Michael asking how his life is going and about his family, and he tells Michael that his job is going better than ever.
Michael!
Davey!
Are you behaving yourself?
Oh, but of course.
And how are the kids?
They're good. I actually mean that. Amanda, too. How's work?
Work, it's fine. Better than fine. It's good. Had a few lucky breaks. Look after yourself, Mike.
You too, Davey. You too.
Why does Floyd hate Wade? How could Trevor see through Debra's lies? And what happened to Debra and Floyd? We are going to go over the told and untold lore of Floyd and Debra. Growing up, Floyd lived an uneventful and quiet life, having only stolen a pencil while in elementary school, a crime he regretted ever since.
We're looking for something to steal.
Sir, I stole a pencil in elementary school and I've been regretting it ever since.
Floyd always was a stick in the mud.
In 2003, he started working as a unionized longshoreman at Pier 400 in the port of Los Santos. It was a stable, honest job that provided a simple life, one he seemed content with. At some point prior to 2013, Floyd got engaged to Debra and moved into her apartment on Vespucci Beach. It's pretty likely that Floyd moved to Los Santos because of Debra. His thick Midwestern or Southern accent suggests he's not originally from Los Santos.
You can't smoke here and you can't stay here.
Debra, on the other hand, had graduated from university and was working as a lawyer. She had the financial stability and ambition that Floyd lacked. Because of this, Debra paid most of the things in the apartment, leading to Floyd pretty much acting the woman in the relationship. During the story of GTA 5, Trevor and Wade, who also is Floyd's cousin, moves to Los Santos in search of the infamous bank robber Michael Townley. And since they have no place to stay, they decide to move into Floyd and Debra's apartment at Vespucci Beach.
It's come to visit you, you rude f***. Now get up off the floor and fix me a f***ing drink.
Floyd has a really low self-esteem and is too scared for Trevor. Let Trevor and his cousin Wade stay at their place. But here is where things get interesting. While Trevor absolutely uses Floyd for his own benefit, giving him access to the port and a place to stay. Trevor does actually care about Floyd. Despite himself using Floyd for his own benefit, Trevor sees through Debra and how she mistreats Floyd. During the mission scouting the port on their way back to Debra's apartment, Trevor talks to Floyd about Debra, calling him a failure who has a wife who doesn't love him.
Rules. And look at you. You're a failure. You're in a loveless relationship.
What do you mean? Loveless? I love Debra.
If she loved you, she'd be here, wouldn't she? But she's not. No one's jealous of you, Floyd. They pity you. You're abused by that woman.
This shows that Trevor does actually care about Floyd, and by calling Floyd a failure, he tries to protect Floyd from people who is trying to hurt him. To be more specific, protecting him from Debra. Trevor calling Floyd a loser and a failure may sound harsh, but it is Trevor's way to protect him from reality. Why does Trevor like Floyd? So the most obvious reason is that Floyd wasn't born in Los Santos. Throughout the story of GTA 5, Trevor seems to have a quite deep problem with citizens of Los Santos.
Where you from, Bato?
It's none of your business.
Huh?
You don't like it? You can go back to Canada, dude! Come on, you want a piece of me, huh?
And since Floyd moved to Los Santos at an unknown point, it doesn't really make him the typical Los Santos citizen. Because as we know, there's nothing more Trevor hates than people making fun of his Canadian accent.
As a moose loose aboot the who's.
Fuck off, you Hoosier. Hey, what's that?
Oh, Jesus.
It's a fake f***ing accent!
While Trevor is a psychopathic serial killer, there is nothing more he hates than dishonesty. Trevor saw Floyd's situation with Debra and the dishonesty in their relationship. This is something that Trevor strongly relates to because of all the betrayals and fake friends he had in the past. Why does Wade and Floyd hate each other despite being cousins? Despite being blood relatives, Wade and Floyd are complete opposites. Compared to Wade, who chose the hippie life, a life full of drugs and violence, Floyd chose to live an uneventful life, a typical 9 to 5, working as a unionized longshoreman. Floyd tries his best to stay as far as possible from Wade, to not get dragged into his criminal life. It's most likely that Floyd decided to end his contact with Wade because of a girl named Evelyn. This is because Floyd caught her in bed with Wade.
How's it going, cousin? It's been a while.
Yeah, I ain't seen you since you was caught in Evelyn's bed.
A guy was never proved.
On Wade's Life Invader wall, Floyd is angry at Wade for invading his home, begging him to get Trevor to move out of his apartment and to leave Mr. Raspberry alone. It's clear Floyd wants nothing to do with Wade's criminal lifestyle or the madness Trevor brings with him. Floyd and Debra's relationship was far from healthy. Debra was constantly picking at Floyd, calling him useless and treating him like shit.
You're crap, Floyd! Crap! You're not a man at all.
Making it clear who controlled the home, both emotionally and financially. Floyd, meanwhile, was deeply unhappy, but lacked the courage to speak up or walk away. It's pretty clear that Debra likes herself more than Floyd, as she has plenty of pictures of herself in her home, but only of herself, because there is not a single instance of Floyd appearing in a picture. This just shows that Debra never loved Floyd at all. She doesn't care for him even slightly. Exactly what Trevor told him earlier when he tried to warn him from Debra. Floyd lives in a one-way relationship where Floyd loves Debra, but not the reverse. He doesn't even sleep in the same bed as Debra, which just wouldn't make sense if she loved him. And no, it's not because Trevor has taken over the apartment, because we already know that he spoons Floyd on the nights. Debra was never working as a lawyer. What's really interesting is that despite Floyd claiming Debra is a lawyer, we never actually see her at work. In fact, there is reason to believe she may not be working as a lawyer at all. Throughout Trevor's time living in the apartment, Debra is almost never seen, even though she supposedly lives and works nearby. When Debra finally appears in the mission Hang 10, she appears to be very aggressive and emotionally unstable. She doesn't act like a lawyer who is trained in law. Her house at Vespucci Beach isn't so impressive either. You would expect a bigger and more fancy apartment for someone working as a lawyer. It's most likely Debra isn't working as a lawyer, but instead works at the Puerto del Sol Yacht Club in Los Santos. A Bleater account called Debra Puerto del Sol writes bleats about the importance of sacrifices for job and escaping for work when it's too boring at home. Debra working at the Puerto del Sol Yacht Club would explain her frequent traveling, and it would also explain why she lives in that apartment and doesn't even own a car. Who is Bob? At one point, Debra brings up someone named Bob. She claims she'll be calling Bob to deal with Trevor.
Bob's right about you.
Oh, who's Bob?
But who exactly is Bob? Bob is most likely Debra's boss, or possibly even a higher up at the port or in the police. But either way, Debra clearly trusts Bob to be someone who can help her get Trevor out of her house. And when we listen to the tone Debra uses when mentioning Bob's name,
You're not a man at all. Bob's right about you.
it suggests that either Bob had a liking for Debra or the other way around. It's very likely that Bob and Debra had some sort of affair. On the fridge in their apartment there are two pictures where an unknown man is seen. This is believed to be Debra's co-worker, Bob, who she had a secret affair with. In a random phone call that can be heard when visiting their apartment, Floyd is heard talking with Debra through the phone, so listen closely to what they say.
I understand that you can't say you love me with your work friends around, you know, but that don't explain why I ain't able to.
Floyd explicitly says in the phone that he understands that Debra can't say she loves him while working. But why? Because Bob is there. This is also why she expresses no feelings towards Floyd, because it would ruin her affair going on with Bob. In several of the phone calls heard between Floyd and Debra, Debra is at a pool party with her co-workers. But what's particularly interesting is that in most of the phone calls, Debra mentions being around her co-worker Bill.
I just missed you so damn much. Say hi to Bill for me.
It's most likely that Bob and Bill are the same person, as Bill could have been a fake name that Debra came up with to lie about her affair with Bob. Why did Debra cheat on Floyd? She's barely ever in her apartment, despite supposedly living and working nearby. Meanwhile, Trevor and Wade took over the place, and she never steps in until she finally shows up and screams at everyone, and completely cut Floyd off. By that point, it's obvious she doesn't feel whatsoever for him. She doesn't express feelings for him at work. There is no picture of them together, and they don't even seem to sleep in the same bed. Debra cheated on Floyd because she couldn't care less about him.
Whose dick you have to suck to get this job?
I did not fellatiate no one to get this job. Deborah's old friends with the... well, with the
say no more. You didn't fillet no one, but darling Debbie probably did. She probably enjoyed it.
What happened to Floyd and Debra? So the last thing we ever see of these two characters are in the mission Hang 10. Debra pulls her gun towards Trevor, and Trevor is seen 5 seconds later leaving the building, completely covered in blood.
Did you meet Deborah?
Ooh, interesting lady.
I should probably go say hi.
I wouldn't.
During the incident, Debra's neighbor Seth posts on his Bleater account concerned about all the noise coming from their apartment. In Hang 10, Trevor supposedly killed Floyd and Debra, but something interesting about this mission is that right after leaving Debra's apartment, Trevor talks to Wade about how everyone just mysteriously disappears. He references the first time they meet each other and how his friends weirdly abandoned him when they were supposed to meet up with the dealer Trevor.
Hey, you remember when we met?
Sure. Last year. I was on the way to the gathering with Daisy Bell and Kush Chronic
and you stopped in Sandy Shores to get lit, and you met a dealer and he looked after you when your friends had abandoned you.
In the car drive with Wade, Trevor also mentions how there's a pattern between his friends leaving him.
The last time I saw them, they was with you, driving out to a quarry, and then they just disappeared.
Right? I mean, they were gone. Some friends, right? And now Cousin Debra don't want you around. I mean, there's a pattern here.
Manipulating him into thinking he's the problem and that he shows us bad friends. But in reality, Trevor is the one responsible for the disappearance of Wade's friends, and it's most likely that both Floyd and Debra suffered the same fate as well. In the game files, the mission Hang 10 was originally going to be called Paradise Lost, and it explicitly says that Trevor killed Floyd and Debra. So in the released version of GTA 5, we can assume that this would also be the case. In 2013, the casino was still under construction and was only known as the Winewood Casino, or sometimes the Be Lucky Casino. Banners on the building promised an opening was coming soon. Even early signs indicated that Fleeka and Shark credit cards would be accepted once the doors opened. Years went by and people waited impatiently for the grand opening. On June 6, 2019, the opening soon banner was removed from the main entrance. Construction Construction barriers, a crate of wooden boards, and a waste skip were also added just outside the doors. The automated barrier outside the garage door was also removed, and it seemed like the time had finally come. In the next couple days, the casino was getting closer and closer to its grand opening. On July 23rd, the wait was finally over. The Diamond Casino and Resort officially opened its doors.
Announcing the grand opening of the Diamond Casino and Resort. Play around. Escape the ordinary. An exclusive luxury adult playground with limitless indulgences. Binge and give in to temptation in our VIP casino.
This was unlike anything we've ever seen, with luxury penthouses, glamorous VIP rooms, huge horse betting screening rooms, blackjack poker and roulette. It featured a large bar, a luxury clothing store, and countless slot machines, drinks, and rewards to discover. Above it all sat a stunning roof terrace overlooking the city, and a parking garage below stocked with exotic cars. One of the highlights was the lucky wheel in the main lobby, where members could spin once every 24 hours to win prizes like ships and discounts, or the weekly podium vehicle displayed on a rotating platform. Big wins were even announced over the casino's PA system.
Compliments to our winner of a brand new vehicle at the Lucky Wheel.
The Diamond Casino quickly became the real deal, attracting politicians, billionaires, and criminals from across Los Santos. All this was built by one family, and one family only, the Cheng crime family. After 5 years of investment, the Cheng family finally completed what they believed would be their gateway into Los Santos' criminal underworld. Mr. Cheng, CEO of Cheng Family Holdings, placed his nephew Tao Cheng in charge of the newly opened casino, hoping to recover the family's investment and turn a major profit. Tao Cheng manages the casino with the help of his translator, and Agatha Baker, the highly professional general manager of the Diamond Casino and Resort. Baker isn't just any manager, she holds a master's degree in business administration, making her fully qualified for the role. Known for her sharp professionalism when dealing with associates, she maintains a serious and controlled presence. Though with her own staff, she can be blunt or even assaulting at times. Despite this, her leadership keeps the casino running smoothly, earning her a reputation as the backbone of the operation. Working alongside Agatha Baker is Tom Connors, the executive director of guest services, stationed at one of the 2 desks in the main lobby. Connors serves as the face outwards of the casino, always polite and friendly towards the guests.
Welcome to the Diamond Casino, Spa and Resort. We are finally open for business. I'm Tom Connors, Executive Director of Guest Services.
His responsibility also go beyond his smile, as the Diamond Casino provides guest services, offering limousine pickups and penthouse cleaning. Penthouse owners also received full VIP membership, unlocking high-limit gambling tables and exclusive lounges. For VIP members, Connor is the key contact, ensuring that every experience at the Diamond Casino feels exclusive. Other important staff are Josephine, who works as the head bartender.
That's our head bar woman, Josephine. Hey, Josephine!
Tom, hi there.
And Vincent Effenberger, head of security. One day, while attempting to buy crystal from the lost MC, Tao Cheng was ambushed and held captive in an abandoned motel. There, he was held captive for 3 whole days.
Tao Cheng, our owner who you met, has disappeared.
Now, normally when Mr. Cheng disappears for 3 days, I think no big deal. Party, few crash car, and everything's fine when I write a few checks. But this time, he go out to score crystal, and he don't come back.
He said something about a contact in the desert, a meth dealer he had met, and now we think he's been kidnapped by some bikers out near Sandy Shore.
Meanwhile, the Duggan crime family wants the casino. They attempted to sabotage the business, hoping to buy it at a rock bottom price.
The Duggan family. They want to buy this place, but first they mean to destroy it so they can rebrand it, write off all its debts, and get it cheap, then turn it into a tacky dump.
The Duggans are a rich family from Texas. The family is led by Avery Duggan, who hires a private army of mercenaries. called the professionals, to do his dirty work. For the Duggans, it was never about entertainment, only about money and power. Despite bailing out the Cheng family, whilst the construction of the casino was underway. Once it's finished, Avery Duggan see the success of the casino and realize the amount of money he wasted. So instead, they seek to buy the casino and turn it to something more profitable. The Duggans, who is a Texan oil family, weren't interested in the casino's glamour. They wanted to gut it for cold profit. They used mercenaries, hillbillies, and intimidation to force Tao to sell the casino. Agatha Baker sends the GTA Online protagonist to rescue Tao Cheng from the lost MC in order to stop the Duggan sabotage. Right after saving Tao Cheng from the lost MC, Agatha asks for help from the GTA Online protagonist to protect the casino from the Duggan crime family.
So I presume you've read some of the bad press we are getting, or heard the news.
Yes, it's a real problem, and we've got the best security in the city.
Which is why it's a setup.
Indeed, it's a setup, madam. My team and I are doing our best, but we have to be vigilant. You don't want any problematic negativity.
Avery paid several hillbillies to go to the casino to start fights against the security. The hillbillies paid by Avery were dealt with. However, one of them manages to steal a sports car and run over a group of bikers who just arrived at the casino. Eventually, they got it back, and the sports car was returned to its place in the casino. Before that, however, Tao recruited new staff, but this time it wasn't just some normal middle-aged dude, it was Brucey Kibbutz.
Yo,
We know that.
sorry to interrupt here. Brucey Kibbutz. Can we talk about health and wellness for a second here?
Excuse me?
Brucey Kibbutz. I want to talk to you about the mindfulness and exercise director's position.
Not right now. I'm kind of busy.
Oh, you're too busy to
Whoa.
discuss health and well-being?
Call guest services, sir. Make an appointment.
Very amusing. Do I look like I make appointments, bro? I am the appointment!
Brucey was hired as Tao's personal fitness coach. He quickly placed Tao on an intense workout schedule fueled by bull shark testosterone, teaching Tao what he called a lion mentality. Soon after the theft of the podium vehicle, the Duggan family finally agreed to meet Tao Cheng, accompanied by Agatha Baker, his translator, and the protagonist's crew, at the Marlowe vineyards to discuss the buyout of the casino. But the deal goes very wrong. Under the influence of Bruce's bull shark testosterone, Tao aggressively insulted Avery.
Mr. Chang's very sorry, but casino's family business. Not for sale.
You boys are making a very big mistake. Thornton, would you excuse us for a moment? And why don't you take it is Miss, ain't it? Yeah, Miss Agatha Baker, and show her the expansion proposals we were discussing.
Okay, Uncle.
This outburst sparked a full-scale war between the Cheng and the Duggan family. Avery Duggan sends his henchmen to kill them, triggering a war that shouldn't have been started in the first place if it wasn't for Bruce's bull shark testosterone. After the shootout at the vineyard, Mr. Cheng declared war on the Duggan family, hiring the protagonist to destroy their assets across Los Santos. In revenge, Avery sends a large number of mercenaries to the casino to kill Tao and the casino staff, but his nephew, Floyd Duggan, arrives at the casino to tell them that he still wants to buy it. He warns the casino staff about the incoming assault.
You've got some nerve.
I come in peace. Now, Agatha, Mr. Chang, I won't lie. I still want to buy the casino, or buy a slice. But my uncle, I think he's lost his reason over this. We've had a serious falling out. You know, I'm leaving the country, quickly. But I think he's sending some bad guys here.
Again?
Oh, no, these are very bad guys.
The assault was brutal, but it was handled by the security and the protagonist. After the assault on the casino, Tao's uncle tells them to sell it, as there is too much conflict surrounding it. Because Tao's uncle provided much funding to renovate it, neither Baker nor Tao can refuse him. As everyone prepares to move their belongings, Thornton arrives at the casino again and makes an offer to everyone. He proposes to save the casino by buying it from the Cheng family at full price, which will lead to a transfer of ownership. However, he admits that he wouldn't have this much money until someone kills his uncle, so he can receive his full inheritance.
It's all over, I'm afraid. Word from the uncle in Hong Kong. You've got to sell. Too much drama. Your condo should be fine, but I'm finished. I'm so sorry. I thought we could build something great here.
Champagne, Miss Baker?
No, Tom.
Maybe I can help your uncle and you leave with a little more dignity. And more. I will offer asking plus 20% and a quick sale and a good relationship. But you gotta help me.
Help?
Kill my uncle.
Oh, Jesus. I cannot believe what I am not hearing.
After being informed by Forden about his uncle's location, everyone turns their attention to the protagonist for help. They go to Martin Madrazo's house, La Fuente Blanca, which is rented by Avery Duggan, and kill all of his bodyguards and mercenaries. This leads to Avery escaping by helicopter. His last attempt to escape ultimately fails, as he is killed by the online protagonist, handing victory to the Diamond Casino staff and saving the resort from the threat of the Duggan crime family.
Bravo, bravo! Well done. Thanks to you all, I now have full ownership of this card house. And Mr. Chang is on a flight heading west.
Things are changing already.
Absolutely. What are you waiting on, Mr. Connors? If ever there was a celebration in need of champagne, the death of my uncle is it.
Oh, well, very good. Very good.
After Avery Duggan's death at La Fuente Blanca, the Diamond Casino and Resort was finally safe from his sabotage. Thornton Duggan stepped in as the new owner. Unlike his uncle, he presented himself as a more business-minded and cooperative person. Tao sold the casino to the Duggan crime family and returned to Hong Kong. After the purchase, Thornton did make changes to the operation. Most staff were kept on, but some cuts were immediate. Most notably, Vincent Effenberger was fired from his role as head of security.
Well, that reminds me. Vincent.
Yes, sir.
We'll no longer require your services.
Huh?
Security is something we're more than capable of handling ourselves.
But...
Give in your pass at the desk.
I see. Yes, sir. It was a privilege working with you fine people.
Thank you, Vincent.
Leading to Vincent taking a turn in his career, which is a story for another video. This marked a shift in casino management, with the Duggan name now tied to the business, even though the day-to-day luxury experience remained the same for visitors. Despite some of the staff being fired, Brucey Kibbutz seems to still remain working at the casino, as he is seen while scoping the casino for the heist. If the online protagonist uses the elevator to head to the roof, they'll run into Brucey, who along with several other VIP guests are invited to young ancestors after party.
You're looking good, bro! Can you back up?
Well, I'm not being weird. I work here.
This party fucking sucks. Yeah, this sucks. Listen up, everybody. At the party, my penthouse, right now. What? Who coming? I'm coming, bro.
A few months later, still in 2019, Georgina Cheng, Tao's sister and the vice president of the Cheng family holdings, soon flies to Los Santos to take matters into her own hand. Unlike her brother, Georgina is calm, smart and very strategic. She arranges a meeting by hacking into the online protagonist's phone and luring them to Mirror Park, where she introduces herself alongside Lester Crest. She explains that she wants revenge on the Duggans for humiliating her brother and stealing the casino.
Who hacked my phone?
We did. In case you don't recognize her, this is Georgina Chang, Vice President of Chang Holdings. Investor, philanthropist, socialite. She was just voted the 89th best-dressed lady in China.
Yeah. Ni hao.
I did my undergrad in London, my master's in Vespucci, Mr. Crest. You can speak English. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
She persuades Lester to help plan a massive heist to rob the diamond and hit the Duggan family where it hurts most, their money. During the heist setup, Georgina works closely with the protagonist, funding preparations and keeping contact through Lester. She proves herself much more professional and capable than Tao, showing that not all Shanks are reckless. After the heist is complete, Georgina personally thanks the protagonist for their work. She stays in Los Santos and continues organizing repeat robberies against the Duggans, and apparently builds some sort of relationship with Lester. During the Big Con approach, if Young is selected as the entrance disguise, here Brucey and Young fake a act that ended up with Brucey getting shot in the leg, which he used as an excuse to trick Debbie out of her office in order for the crew to steal a keycard to gain access to the staff lobby.
Mr. Duggan?
Yeah!
Right now.
Yeah!
Yeah, he's boxing in the gym with his PR guy.
Well, go speak to him, okay?
Hey.
I promise you, this will all be cool.
So wait right here.
Oh, shit! My leg! My bad, bro!
Not in there.
You cool or what? Yeah, I'll be cool, man.
Is
Real
everything
cool.
okay?
I have no idea. No! I shot myself. Yeah. Like an idiot. Weird.
Oh my god!
Can you get me to a doctor, please?
Yeah, of course. Come with me here.
Do I look pale? Do you? Don't touch me. I'm feeling faint, bro. I think I'm bleeding out. Get the thing off the tape and get out of here.
In December of 2020, the Diamond Casino expanded further with the opening of the Music Locker, an exclusive underground nightclub located directly beneath the resort. Access to the Music Locker was available, but VIP treatment was reserved for those staying in the Diamond Casino's penthouses with its own bar and private dance areas. It served as both an entertainment hub and a new front for the underworld dealings. The Diamond Casino was no longer just a gambling paradise. It had become a global meeting point for criminals from all across the world. Why did Fortin betray his uncle? Fortin's betrayal was a bit shocking, because up until that point we all thought that he was just a spoiled nephew tagging along, throwing money around without much direction. But betraying his own uncle shows he was more ambitious and ruthless than anyone realized. Was it just about control of the casino and expanding the Duggan Empire, or was it personal? Maybe Fortin thought his uncle was too soft, too old, or too unwilling to take risks. When trying to negotiate with the Shanks, Avery quickly became upset with Tao's attitude and didn't show the patience nor the qualities that a leader should have. Fortin, on the other hand, saw his uncle's flaws, trying to calm him down, but his uncle just wouldn't let him speak.
I like China. I just
What my uncle is trying to say is...
Excuse me? I was not finished.
Excuse me, sir.
It's not a problem, Lord.
Also, when warning Agatha about the upcoming raid on the casino, Fortin talks about how his uncle has lost his reasons over the casino and explains how he has lost his mind and his reasons for sabotaging it in the first place.
But my uncle, I think he's lost his reason over this. We've had a serious falling out.
His uncle became too focused on the money he lost for cashing out during the construction that he forgot what's best for the family. Because of his deep desire for revenge and profit, he forgot to think about all the people he killed and how this conflict would ruin the reputation of the Duggan family. Fortin saw firsthand how impulsive his uncle was and knew that if they continued like this, he would end up getting the entire gang killed. So instead, he killed his uncle, hoping to save his family's reputation. What were Bruce's real intentions with Tao? Bruce Kibbutz worked as Tao's trainer, his lifestyle coach, but his motives were always very suspicious. Was he truly helping Tao become the best version of himself, or did they manipulate him for his own gain? Tao was vulnerable and reckless, and Bruce helped him become confident in himself. But while doing this, it almost seemed like he was controlling him. On their way to Marlowe Vineyards, Bruce's translator talks about the negative effects Brucey has caused.
The trainer, Brucey, he said he would work on Mr. Chang's mind and body. So far, it's just high-intensity training, lots of performance-enhancing drugs, and very little mindfulness.
Mindfulness!
You see, he is very angry. These bullshot pills, they're worse than the crank.
He tells the protagonist that Brucey was supposed to help Tao become mindful, but so far the only thing he has done is train him hard and put him on steroids. The way Tao responds on Bruce's training, it seems more like manipulating him and using him for his own profit rather than training him. Listen to what Brucey says when training Tao.
Matter, huh? Look, that's me! The total package! If I could just get distribution, I could change the world, you know?
Brucey talks about needing distribution in order to expand his fitness program and his show all across Los Santos. He knew that Tao had the power and the money to do so he trained him and put him on bullshark testosterone in order to manipulate him. The steroids get Tao all emotional and Brucey helps him control it. This makes Brucey look like the hero from Tao's perspective, making him like him even more. All of this training was only for Bruce's profit, and Bruce's profit only. He tried to manipulate Tao to promote his fitness company, and in that way he would make a massive win. Why was Vincent fired Vincent getting fired at the end of the story was a kinda unexpected twist. On the surface, it looked like Thornton was just cutting costs, but the way Miss Baker reacted raises serious questions. She didn't look shocked at all, almost like she expected it. Throughout the missions, Vincent made mistakes, letting the Duggins inside and losing a 2.8 million car, struggling to keep control of security. But were those mistakes truly his fault? Or did it just look worse than it really was? Based on their reaction, it almost seemed like they already knew that he was going to get fired and didn't bother. Thornton's reason for firing Vincent had little to do with his cutting costs. The Duggan crime family were already capable enough to protect the casino, and Vincent being in the command of the family security would only make the situation worse. Did Miss Baker only help Tao for the money, and is she in fact evil? Miss Baker is one of the more complex characters in the casino story. She is professional and loyal to Tao, but her behavior suggests she is always calculating. She played along with both sides when it benefited her, and she seemed too calm during Vincent's firing. Could she have secretly wanted him out of the way so she could run the casino with less resistance? Maybe her loyalty isn't to Tao at all, but to the casino itself, or even to her own future profits. When Vincent is suddenly fired at the end, she doesn't look surprised at all, even though Tom seems slightly caught off guard. Instead of reacting with shock, she calmly tells Vincent,
"It was a privilege working with you fine people."
Thank you, Vincent.
which doesn't sound like something you'd say if you were blindsided. Earlier in the story, Miss Baker takes some passive-aggressive jabs at Vincent, criticizing his handling of security issues, putting the blame on him for problems at the casino.
Well done, Vincent. Any ideas?
I imagine it was someone who wishes to besmirch the good name of this institution.
Yeah, we know that.
She seems very concerned to be linked to violent activities and expresses disgust when the protagonist is tasked to kill people. However, she doesn't mind to use violence when it suits her. As in one of the casino work missions, she calls it amazing when the protagonist violently mugs a critical reporter.
I can't believe you did this. I can't believe I asked you to do this. This was amazing.
I would personally say that Miss Baker isn't really evil, but she's very focused on money and keeping the casino safe. She acts calm when Vincent is fired, which makes it seem like she wanted him gone, because his mistakes could hurt the casino's profits. Even though she doesn't like being linked to violence, she will use it when it helps to protect the business. This shows that she cares more about the casino's success than about Vincent or anyone else. In the end, she is not bad, just someone who puts the money and the casino above everything else.